Warning! I sold my soul to the devil. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Sleepy Hollows, Season 4, Episode 13, Freedom. I'm your host, Dom. With me, we have Kim and Clio.
Hi, I'm back.
Cleo's back. How's it going?
I feel the title, with that comment, I feel the title is ironic.
Right? Look at that title. Freedom. Irony at its finest.
There were a couple conversations about freedom also in this episode, so
Yep.
definitely appropriate.
But Cleo, let's really quickly get you caught up to speed. What did you think of this season?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. I found myself distracted sometimes though, like I wasn't fully engaged. But it might have just been because I'm a spacey person. But but I liked it. You know, they were bringing the horseman. I'm like, fucking finally, we got all four.
Yeah. Yep.
And I thought that was great.
So.
And I totally called it. That was, well, I called it to myself, so there's no proof. But that was an older Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all kind of called that.
Yep. So, what was your favorite episode this season?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the list. Let me look at the list, and then I'll tell you.
Kim, what was your favorite episode this season? Now that it's all said and done.
I don't know. I guess I didn't really think about it. I think there's like bits and pieces that I think were really cool. The things that happened. But
I think my favorite was the People versus Ichabod Crane. I think that's hands down
that was
my favorite
fantastic.
episode.
It was a good episode.
Yeah. It's just like there was so much. The monster was really cool. The throwbacks, the first time we get to see John Noble, like getting put on trial and having to face like everything that he's dealt with. Like that episode, and it was absolutely fantastic for me. It was my favorite episode this whole season. So, and it ended up being super relevant, carrying on through the rest of the season. You know, like the jar of goo and everything turned out huge.
Yeah.
You know, so it just, I feel like that was the episode that really just rang it home for me. And the nostalgia in this season was real. It brought you all the way back, season 1, season 2, even a little bit of season 3. Like, it didn't want you to forget as much as, you know, Abby was gone, and that was a big thing going into this season was, you know, can the show survive without Abby? And I 100% say yes, the show was able to do it. They did it fantastically. And honestly, I didn't miss Abby. I didn't at all. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually more frustrated that they kept bringing her up to try to throw it in your face and remind you. Luckily, that was only the first, 4 episodes, though, so...
Yeah, and I think that was more to be like, don't worry, we didn't forget about her. We didn't just, move on immediately. That was, I think, to reassure people who were fans of Abby. We didn't just forget about her.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike her, but I guess, we know how bad season 3 was. But I felt like it was... The season was much... Obviously, the season was much, much better. But... I almost felt like the show got better without her. But that's purely because the season was, like I said, 10 times better than the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show did get better without her, but that I don't think is a direct cause of her.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's the direction that the show went, and bringing in a younger cast, too, to accompany Crane, and you get those old man jokes, and, things like that,
There's been a lot this episode.
I love that.
It was just a whole breath of fresh air. This season was fantastic. I'm seeing so many review the show's not been officially renewed or canceled or anything one way or the other yet, and I'm seeing a lot of reviews of people and just talking, let it go, it's done, it's over, the ratings were bad. This show, like, I wish it was in a better time slot. I really do, because this season was fantastic, and I even feel like it was better than season 1. That's how much I'm gonna really praise this season.
I was gonna say, at least the ratings are consistent this season. Like, I'm looking at the ratings, and they're very, very consistent. Not like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem also, because last season was so bad, I think that we lost a lot of people that weren't ready to. They're like, oh, just forget it. They didn't even give this season a chance when it's 10 times better than last.
Yeah, and I think it might have also been a lot of people were upset Abby was gone.
True, because there's in any show when they lose a main character, there are people that drag their heels, just in general. Yeah. I mean, I personally know that there's been shows where I refuse to go back for a little while and go, oh, screw it, I'll go back anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw that with another show. We were covering a huge character, that was the Vampire Diaries, a huge character. They did 2 or 3 seasons without one of their main characters that existed from the beginning. I think it was only 2. And the show ended up being really good still. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. So, I don't know. It's just changing. When you have to write a main character out like that, you have to go outside of the box that you wouldn't have done with that character there. And I think that's what breathes the fresh air, the new life into it. And I don't know. I'm actually really thankful that the show did stick it through, and I stuck through with the show, because we were all in agreement that none of us were really enjoying last season at all. So Annette in chat says The Way of the Gun was her favorite episode. Sally agrees.
I was actually just gonna say that, because I did enjoy, I think, the People versus Ichabod Crane more, but a close second was The Way of the Gun.
Yeah,
that was a great episode.
Yeah, and Sally agrees. People versus Ichabod Crane. Those two are both really fantastic episodes. And number 3 for me is actually gonna be the finale here. I think the finale was great, and I was worried going into it, because we have a lot of loose ends and stuff that are not finished, and it's like, this is a 1-hour episode. Like, I don't understand how they're gonna close the thread on everything. And
I thought it was really fast paced, and there was some good, really big parts that I thought were really good, but at the same time I almost felt Dreyfus was beaten very easily, but of course the reasoning makes sense.
Yeah.
Why he was beaten so easily.
Yep. Yeah, because we had Crane
his
and
ego undid him.
Yeah. Well, we had Crane and Lara go to hell. Literally.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny.
That is literally one of the best.
He just told us to go to hell.
Literally.
No, literally.
And I was reading through some interviews and stuff. What the original plan for hell was, because we had Job in a nice suit this whole season, and he's always dressed prim and proper, that hell was going to be a corporate office. That was their intention for hell. And then they changed it to that elevator thing, and I think the elevator worked really well. I thought that was cool. But the whole entrance, the build up to hell, everybody having their own personal
hells.
They saw it completely different. That was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant.
Well, they also implied that the 6 levels, he said 6, the 6th level, so it's 7 levels of hell. Mm-hmm. So it's they implied the oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember that right now. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
Yeah. I'll think it. Yeah.
So
they were about to do the ritual to go to hell. And then, the cable guy knocks on the door.
Always at the worst time.
I swore they were already in hell. I was like, oh, they're already in hell. This is hell. The cable guy's here.
Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
There you go.
Done. Okay.
There you go.
That's the one.
Yep.
But they called him the Lord of Lies, which was okay, I guess the devil could be called the Lord of Lies.
Yeah. Kind of upset the cable guy didn't show up at the end of the episode as well.
Or Or he just showed up in hell, like he was just a demon.
Just because the way they had to reschedule, I was totally expecting a scene at the end of the episode with Crane setting up his cable or whatever, but...
3 weeks later, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 7 p.m.
Yeah, right?
So you can play video games and watch porn.
Exactly. Exactly, Crane. So, let me ask you guys, what do you guys think your personal hell would look like?
Oh, jeez.
Supermarket.
Well, it's supposed to imply...
Supermarket?
It seemed like it was it's supposed to reiterate like what is in the worst part of your life or whatever, or like the worst moment.
Not necessarily.
Or something that you hold a grudge against in like your, I don't know.
Just something that I guess really would bother you like that. It's not necessarily something you hold a grudge against. It's not like the worst moment of your life, but it's something that you absolutely despise.
I guess it would depend on what they were trying to trigger with me. I guess if it's supposed to be fear, stuck in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Yeah.
But
I don't like water that you can't see the bottom of. So
yeah, I am the exact same way.
That might be something, but I'm gonna say probably the thing that I can't stand the most are bees. So hell would be inside of a beehive. Yeah, I just hate bees. I get stung way too easily. Like at work and stuff, you go throw cardboard out, I get stung just throwing cardboard in the dumpster.
Shit.
So, yeah, I'm like a bee magnet. I'm stung at least 50 to 60 times a year. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be an exaggeration.
No, it's not.
You get stung by bees more than I get stung by mosquitoes.
Probably. Yeah, I don't actually get it. I'm not allergic to mosquitoes, so I don't even notice when they bite me. So, that my arm don't swell up from mosquito bites. So
you're allergic to bees?
I'm not allergic to bees, no.
Oh, I was like...
No. No, I just, I'll get stung sometimes 3 times in the same day, just throwing stuff in the trash, because the bees make nests in dumpsters, and you go throw cardboard or metal or something out, and it's just, I work a lot with shelving and stuff, and you go inside, the trailers and stuff where we keep the shelving, and bees make nests in the trailer, and, it's awful. So, yeah, I get stung a lot. But, yeah, so that would be my personal hell. It's just trapped inside of a beehive.
Okay, so if we're gonna go that far, it definitely would be middle of the ocean alone, because I don't like that. I don't like being alone. My whole thing of dying alone, and I'd be surrounded by mythical sea monsters. So yeah, the
one we saw at the end of the episode.
That one didn't bother me surprisingly, but what is it, the megalodons or whatever, the freaking massive Jurassic Park, the big water scene. Yeah, fuck no.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end, that was they thought it was a siren, but it was in fact a kraken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. From reports, I think they thought it might have been a siren. But then a giant thing comes out. It's like, that's not a siren.
Yeah. It didn't look like a kraken either. Not the kraken that we're used to, anyway. I'm thinking Pirates of the Caribbean style kraken, and that was like a Greek goddess, Well,
that was like Ursula kraken.
Yeah,
almost.
I guess. Yeah. It's kind of cool, but I like how they left that on a let's go chase monsters kind of ending, So it's not done, That's what I liked about it, because it's a great ending. That there's stuff left over, yeah, their story's not over. That way now if the show gets canceled, it's just okay, well, they're still doing stuff. That's the way your brain, it's just yeah, they're off doing adventures, we're just not seeing them, do it. But now if it does get picked up, we have a lot of breadcrumbs left to finish, because when Crane and Lara went to hell, they made a deal with Lucifer, or Crane made a deal with Lucifer, to stop Dreyfus, and Crane will give the devil his soul. So now Crane is branded, he's got the mark on him, and as soon as Crane dies, he's going to hell.
Which The show is turning supernatural in that regard. Yeah, I don't know. And he's just like, yeah, no big deal. It's like, what the fuck, Crane? God.
You could tell something was wrong when he came back and he had that big, hero speech that he literally was on the verge of tears. So you knew that well, of course, you're right. The moment you make a deal with the devil, you know the only thing that you can give the devil is a soul.
And I think the problem is we didn't see the scene. Yeah. So all we have is Ichabod's word that his soul was the only one offered up.
Yeah. I don't think Lara's soul would have been offered. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we would have known about that. I don't know. It's possible.
Well, they'd obviously try to hide it from the mother because they'd worry.
But... I mean, it's possible because Lara. We found out this episode as well. Having Lara here actually negated Molly's witness status.
Did it?
It did. Yeah. So Molly is no longer a witness because Lara is here and Lara is the witness, and there can only be 2 witnesses. So it's now Lara and Crane, so it's no longer Molly. She's free from that. So it is possible, I guess, that Lara also gave her soul, and that way the devil got the 2 witnesses.
Yeah.
You know?
It would make sense that he would stop an apocalypse, which is multiple souls, the 2 souls of the witnesses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that to the devil probably would be a fair trade. But I think the problem's going to be if the devil now gets their souls, or at least one of their souls, will they not be reborn into another witness? Does he get the witness soul?
That's what we don't know. But, like, for me, you know, taking the witness aspect out of the equation, and having Crane sacrifice himself, his soul, to save the world, all these souls, is a pretty awesome thing to do. You know, it's no big deal. You know, it's Crane saw, hey, either just me goes to hell, or the whole world goes to hell. You know, those are the 2 options.
The one for the many.
Yeah. So I totally get why Crane did it. Totally get why it's quote unquote no big deal. But you know, as Diana says, we'll figure it out. You know, like they're gonna work. They're gonna get it done. So if we do end up with a season 5, we know that they're gonna deal with that. You know, that's gonna be the premise of the season is freeing Crane's soul. If there's a way to reverse it, if they have to make another deal with the devil, or. And by the way, just for the record, really, really, really cannot stress how upset I am that we did not get sympathy for the devil playing in this episode.
He was singing Dancing Cheek to Cheek, though. That was fun. I thought that was funny.
But Sympathy for the Devil is the song that's been playing through the whole show. Yeah. You know, from the very beginning. Episode 1 mentioned we had like a violin version in the time travel episode.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, like this has been a running theme, and instead we get Highway to Hell. You know, so
Highway to Hell.
While appropriate, I was still really upset about it. You know.
So I just had this like revelation of just thought process of the way they could save his soul or save like the witnesses is if they both give him. If you think that maybe the witnesses don't own their own souls, so how can you soul something you don't own yourself? Kind of thought process, and maybe we'd have the angels come back that
yes, please.
We need that if we're going to be dealing with hell and souls, and we have to get heaven, we have to finish the angels out. So hopefully we get Orion back. But yeah. I don't know.
Now he can be Laura's boyfriend.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the whole weapons and all that the agency had?
I thought it was funny that it didn't they didn't
work.
They're like, what is this?
It's like the elven swords in the Lord of the Rings. They don't glow until they're next to orcs.
Yep. I don't know. I feel like the battle was completely unnecessary versus the horsemen.
I think they were just to hold them off from.
Yeah, just distract them.
Delay. Yeah. They were a delay, basically.
So
I almost think
they didn't run over the White House.
the conversation between Ichabod and Henry was almost useless. I don't know. It was like an awkward conversation. I don't know. It felt awkward.
I actually really liked it because
I did too.
Henry was just talking to Dreyfus about how after everything he'd done, his father still showed mercy, and he did it again. And Ichabod's not ever gonna give up on his son.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It had this weird awkward vibe. That's still like okay. It just felt easy. They just like freedom, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a bit awkward. I still liked it though.
I didn't say that it was bad. It was just weird.
Yeah, they did say though that they 100% want to work with John Noble going into next season. If given the opportunity for another season.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
They said he is a pleasure to work with. They enjoy every time they get to work with him. So. The president. What did you guys think of the president?
I thought she was cool.
Yeah.
She accepted shit very quickly.
Yeah.
She was like, okay.
We can't tell people because that's crazy. We can't just sweep it under the rug because it actually did happen.
Yep.
And I love how she just made Ichabod a citizen.
Yeah, oh, I know.
That was fantastic.
You're American. Like, oh, okay.
And he's already registered to vote. Like, he's good. He's good to go. So, it's like that is part of the theme of freedom for this episode. Like that and then the irony of, not having his freedom at the same time by being bound to the devil and stuff like that. Which their original plan for the devil was something more grotesque with like face involving maggots and stuff coming out of like the cracks and not necessarily.
I like that it was just the magma.
Yeah.
I liked how they played him because again, when you think about, when you talk about like the most like the thought process of the devils being like the lawful evil, so they have that whole he's like hell has rules and contracts and things, so it's that whole same a contract is a contract, that whole lawful binding, which I
love lawful evil.
Yeah, me too.
It's one of my favorite alignments.
Mm-hmm.
I myself have played a lawful demon in D&D.
I have one made, haven't got the player yet.
Yeah. No, it's great, and that's what's going to be interesting about trying to break the contract.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they going to go in and try to defeat the devil? Like, is that how they're going to break the contract? Like, are they going to find a loophole? Like, what approach do you guys think they're gonna handle that if we do get a season 5?
I definitely hope an angels. That's what I like my theory. That whole thought process of being that they are technically warriors of good, and that whole.
Just because they have angels doesn't mean that they won't try to kill Lucifer, or it doesn't mean that they won't try to find a loophole. That's what I'm trying to. That's what it's more of. Do you think they're gonna kill him, or do you think they're gonna go for like a loophole in the contract, or third option, make a different deal? Ultimately, what do you think is the direction they could go with that?
They could go anyone, but I think making another deal is probably the only reason the devil will make another deal is if there's something he wants more. And I feel like whatever he wants more is going to be worse.
Probably.
Like the apocalypse.
I mean, he gave up the apocalypse for Crane.
Yeah.
So, well, it's only Crane as far as we know at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards that maybe he took them both because.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. Brian in chat says, I was mad they brought in Robbie K and didn't do anything with him, and I 100% agree with you. He was in that one episode playing like the One Direction megastar, and like the role was hysterical. Absolutely loved it. And then they tease him at the end as the villain, and it's just like, yeah, he's going to join, and, and then we never actually see him again through the entire rest of the season. And I was
he
so
basically
looking
kills him
to
and puts him in the coffin for
resurrection.
Pestilence?
Yeah, pestilence was
right, because the
The viral
career
video.
woman was
Yeah.
famine because she
Damn it.
was hungry.
Yeah. And that's kind of another thing I was upset with, is we didn't get to see what happened with the horsemen. They just kind of all dissolved and like poofed away. And
Well, I think they bonded with the Avatar and then just became a part of the Avatar, which is the suit of armor.
Right.
Because that's how they described it for Crane.
But now they're just gone because they were tied to Dreyfus's life, right?
But Henry moves around, like...
They just disappeared. I don't think they're gone. I just think they might have gone back to...
Henry's still around, so like, what happened to the rest of them?
Yeah. I assume that they can still do the same thing that Henry can. I mean, they're just... Now they're in a different body.
Mm.
The vessel.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yep.
I didn't give it too much thought.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys have anything else for this episode?
I feel like I did. Oh, I still hate Alex.
Really?
I was trying to give her. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, all right, I'll probably warm up to her. No, she's still fucking annoying.
I like they had the kiss. They had a kissing thing.
Yeah, that was another thing. Like, they built up to this whole, the whole season, and it's like, last episode we had nothing of it. I'm like, really? They're gonna try to conclude this all in one, episode? And they did, and it's still like, what happened to Melissa? Like, there's no mention, of her. Like,
well, apparently he was just like, whatever.
He just completely forgot about her in one kiss.
Yeah, right.
Do
you not have a girlfriend anymore? I don't know.
Is that how that works? So.
But kiss another lady. I don't have a girlfriend anymore.
And I like that Job is not defeated. So Annette saying maybe Job will come back. That's another possibility. We could see Job again. I actually like Job. I don't think he was utilized enough. No. He was pretty much a lapdog the entire time. And getting Job in full force where he's not being controlled in another season could be really interesting.
I like that he was the one who took Dreyfus back to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was fantastic.
I'd like to see Dreyfus again in hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see a lot of the people that were already defeated, in hell or whatever, like Moloch and the guy from last season that we hated. Totally forgot his name now. Did he ever have a name? Did they name him?
Oh, the Faceless? I thought they did.
Yeah.
I just don't remember because no one cares. We hate them.
I blocked
the Damien guy.
I blocked that season out.
That season.
I really liked him as a villain, though.
He was a decent villain.
Anyway,
decent.
Sally is saying in chat, Henry is a lawyer. He might be able to use his legal expertise to get his father's soul back to show him he finally forgives him.
That would be interesting.
That'd be very interesting.
Like Henry sacrificing himself or something like that.
Yeah.
Finding a loophole.
Putting himself on the line to save his father's soul.
Yeah. There's a lot of different directions they could go for that. But I don't know. As terrible as the ratings were, and by terrible I mean they weren't awful. There's still shows out there that have worse ratings. The reason why this show was able to keep going, because this show is all produced in-house. It doesn't cost Fox as much money because they're producing it. They're doing all the work. It's not like, with like another, like a DC show or something like that where the ratings highly matter because they're paying royalties for characters and stories and things, stuff like that. Sleepy Hollow, to my knowledge, the story of Ichabod Crane and all that, and the Horseman, Headless Horseman, is so old that it's in the public domain now.
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Yeah, so they don't have to pay any royalties for this. So it's literally whatever it costs them to do is it. And that's how the show is able to survive. With that being said, the director, the producers, they're already talking about next season. They're saying they're not officially renewed, but there's been talks with Fox of the different storylines, the directions they could go with it. People that could return They would love to get John Noble back, for example. And the president is not necessarily, they said that she was fantastic to work with, but it's not necessarily a direction that they see that they have to have her to move forward. It's just like, yeah, you're answering to her now, but maybe not directly. Maybe, it's the orders came from the president, so they could do it without, necessarily having her on camera if she's not available. So stuff like that.
That can also just be a way for them to introduce like a more stricter bureaucracy to their group. That always is fun, like in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, having like limitations on what they can and can't do and stuff. As frustrating as that can be at times, it does make for some interesting stuff on TV.
Drama.
So, final question before we wrap this up. Do you guys want a season 5?
Yeah.
If it continues the way it's going, yeah.
100%.
Give me my fucking angels.
100% I want season 5 because, as Clio said, I want the angel storyline wrapped up.
Angels.
That is the only thing I care about right now. Not the only thing, but that's the thing I care about the most.
I think we're all on the same page with the whole angels. We're like, yeah.
You brought the angels in for one fucking episode.
For 2 seconds.
Only one. Come on.
I thought it was 2.
It was 1. It was a single episode. Orion like fucking dipped. It was it.
I thought Abby like contacted him again through the.
Oh, maybe she
thing.
did.
Yeah, I thought it was 2 episodes, but yeah, it was still very short.
I feel like it happened in 1 episode, and it just kept getting brought up again and again because she had lied about it to Crane.
Maybe, yeah. So.
But still, it was just a blip. It literally was just a blip.
Yep. I don't know. All in all, I think this was a fantastic season. If the show started out, like season 1 started out like this, I think the numbers would have been even higher than what they were in season 1. Season 1 was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like this season was leagues ahead of their first season, and all the twistery, that they tell. I love seeing like the painting, and then they got our paint. What was it, Betsy Ross? Paint her out of it, and it's like all the twistery that's what they call it, twistery, and I love that word.
Twistery.
Yeah. Twisting
I
history.
always just call it historical fiction.
No, twistery. That's the official term for that. It's been used
By
on
who?
multiple shows. It's not just on this show.
All right, well.
By the internet. I don't know.
I've been saying historical fiction for like 7 years, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Twistery sounds cooler. And it's the internet. We all know
It
that.
makes me think of the movie Twister.
It looks better in writing. I'll leave it.
Yeah, yeah, it probably does.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really hoping for another season.
Mm-hmm.
So, the synopsis for next episode doesn't exist.
Because we don't even know if there's another season.
Yeah. So, this is the part where I usually read that, and unfortunately we can't. So Kim, where can the people find you?
On Twitter is at HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
Awesome. Clio, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest.
Awesome. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon.
You can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until hopefully next year. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
You keep saying next year. It's only going to be until the fall. That's not next year. That's still this year.
That's next year.
So, like, if they bring it back, it'll be back like Halloween.
I'd say next season. That works. Next season.
Until the year 2036 when they do the Sleepy Hollow reboot.
I'm nitpicking.
Oh, Jesus.